What's up guys, girls, and calendars? So, as we all know, 2.2 is the latest and most long-awaited update to Geometry Dash in its history, taking almost 7 years to release after 2.1. And since then, we've had 7 minor updates, meaning the current version of the game is this number. How would you say this number? 2.207? 2.207? 2.207? There's a level of ambiguity to these update numbers that just irk me, sort of. So today, I want to briefly talk about how RobTop's update numbering scheme kind of makes no sense at all, by comparing it to other games. This is going to be a kind of disjointed video because I have a couple of topic points I want to hit, but not any really great ways to segue between them. Fair warning, so let's just jump into it. But before we jump in, I just want to ask you to hit subscribe, baby! Yeah! Because we have to demolish 200k, and now we're setting our sights on 300k! Let's go! And also, you should buy my plushie! Yeah! It's only available for 3 weeks, then never again! Production will not be started on them unless we can sell 200, and if we don't sell 200, you'll get a full refund, so it's risk-free! If you buy one and send me a video or image of your purchase screen or email receipt, I might put it in a video, so get buying! Alright, on to RobTop's awful numbering. So to get started, we need to take a step back and look at version numbering as a whole. This isn't exclusive to just games. Websites and applications alike all tend to use some form of version numbering, even if it's only an internal counter and not directly seen by the public. You can see it on Discord, for example, in the settings menu. Now, funny as it may be to realize this, Geometry Dash actually does not display its version number in-game anywhere to the player, and is solely perpetuated by RobTop through teaser images and just basic community agreement. Let's take a quick look at one of these numbers. Say, the last major update before 2.2, 2.1. This is already somewhat confusing at face value. Like, what purpose does the 2 serve in this number? Well, let's try to analyze where this number deviated from a more normal system. Let's compare this to another game you may have heard of, Minecraft. The last time Minecraft and Geometry Dash shared an update number was 1.9. Both of these games had an update that they labeled as Update 1.9. They both followed an Update 1.8, but they both preceded different things. Minecraft updated to version 1.10, while Geometry Dash updated to version 2.0. Interesting. If you ask me, the Minecraft method makes more sense, although not as much as it really could have. See, in most cases, the first number is the game version number, meaning different phases of the development of the game. Strangely enough, even in Minecraft's earlier phases, the version numbers still used a 1 in front, but they just tacked on the word alpha or beta to the end. Regardless, that's generally how it should be. Minecraft Update 1.10 is the 10th main update to the game, so it's game version 1, major update version 10. While I believe earlier updates like 1.9 should have probably been 1.09 to avoid 1.10 being technically the same number as 1.1, that's a minor critique. But then we look at Geometry Dash, update 1.9 to 2.0. Now, you could argue that 2.0 was such a massive change to the game that it fundamentally is a new era or game version, so sure, I'll give that to you. But then, we had update 2.1, which was an even bigger update. So why wasn't this update 3.0? 2.2 literally more than doubled the game's file size, so how is this not 4.0? See, Minecraft treats the two numbers separated by the decimal point as separate things, although the first number is kinda useless, whereas GD basically reads the first two numbers as one and the same. Update 2.2 may as well be just read as version 22. So that's the issue that I have with the major update numbering scheme. But then we get to the minor updates. This is where it falls apart even more. Let's take a look at the last minor update to Geometry Dash 2.1, the one that we were all on for 6 years. That version number looks like this, 2.113. Do you know how you're supposed to read this? I mean, you probably do because you're probably a Geometry Dash player, but if you aren't and you're watching this video, I'll tell you how. This number means Major Update 2.1, Minor Update 1, Bugfix Update 3, which, like, sure, maybe you could call this passable. Every bit of information here is relevant and necessary to differentiate it from the previous version, which was presumably called 2.112. But as I stated before, the issue with this is that these numbers, in my opinion at least, should all be whole numbers. Having the major update be a decimal is kinda yucky from an organizational perspective. But then, we look at the current version as of right now, that I mentioned at the start of the video, 2.207. This means Major Update 2.2, Minor Update 0, Bugfix Update 7. Now, here's the thing with this. My problems with the minor numbering scheme are honestly due in part to the actual scale of these updates, so I'm going to present those problems alongside my suggestions for how to clean up the numbering system as a whole. So, I think it's no surprise to anyone that Geometry Dash kinda has a problem with the scale of its updates. Back in updates like 1.1, a bugfix update would literally just be like, random tweaks, hee smile. But now, a so-called bugfix update adds the entirety of the no copyright sounds music library. 2.206 and 2.207 are arguably as much content added to 2.2 as 2.11 was to 2.1. 2.2 itself was easily already enough content for like 8 updates. And based on what's supposed to be coming in 2.21, being Explorers, Versus Mode, and the map, that should be more than enough for 2.3, honestly. So, I kinda just want to put that out there. RobTop, if you're listening, if you're watching this, please just make 2.21 2.3. It would make so much more sense. I know the Explorers preview would be wrong, but at this point, so is GD10, so I don't think it really matters that much. Anyways, we can't go back in time and change previous versions, but we can look towards the future and suggest some changes. I'll be suggesting these in order of difference from the current system. That is, we'll start with an idea that's pretty similar to how it is now. My first idea is to just add another decimal between the minor update and the bugfix update numbers. There is no reason we should be on version 2.207. This looks like major update 2, minor update 207. Under this system, the current version would be called update 2.20.7 or just update 2.2.7. The final bugfix of 2.1 would be called update 2.11.3. In my opinion, this system is much more intuitive than having all the numbers be squished into one really long number at the end. And I know this would work because Apple actually already uses this for Geometry Dash Lite. GD Lite is literally on version code 2.21.6 right now. So why are we not using this idea for the main game? It just boggles my mind. But anyways, let's move on to the next idea. So my next idea is to continue the goofy major version number, but split up all the subsequent numbers. In this system, the current version 2.207 would simply become 2.2.0.7. This makes things much clearer and allows for RobTop to potentially make more than 9 bugfix updates, because in the current system, what would even be after 2.209? 2.2010? Do you see how ugly that number looks? With this system, RobTop could easily have an update be numbered 2.2.0.10, and while this is still clunky and unnecessarily long, it is still more organized. My third and final idea is basically just a copy of the second, but also involves removing the decimal from the major number version. Under this scheme, update 2.2 would just become update 22. Now, is this weird because that means update 1.0 is now update 10? Yeah, but the version numbering is weird enough already that I don't think that really matters. We'd all get used to it eventually. This is the only real way I can see to make the whole 1.9 to 2.0 thing make any sense, because version numbers are supposed to be symbolic or indicative of the development of the game, not just a number that counts up. That's why Minecraft went from 1.9 to 1.10. The current version of the game would now be called 22.0.7. Major version 22, minor version 0, bugfix update 7. 2.21 would be 22.1, and 2.3 would just be version 23. Simple. But yeah, those are just a couple of my ideas. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Special thank you to all the chat members, including Gato, Invdu, Gabriel555Ty, and Your Average Furry. Thank you guys very much for all support, it means the absolute world to me. And yeah, thank you all for watching, buy my plushie, and I'll see you all in the next video.